It is officially time. Hello and welcome to Stretch Break. My name's Amber Langford, and I'll be running you through your stretches today. For today's class, we are using our chairs. For our chairs, I recommend that we are using a stationary chair, one that ideally does not have any wheels. If you do have wheels, I ask that you please lock them if you're able to do so. Other options too are to press your chair up against a wall to take away some of that movement and rotation. We are going to begin standing today, and we are going to start first by stretching out our hips. So I want you to move over so you're kind of on the side of your chair. We're going to be holding on with one hand. And I want you to let's take our right leg first. So with our right leg, we're just going to lift it up, placing it gently on the seat of your chair. Hips are facing forward, and we're just going to kind of lean into that chair, opening up that left hip flexor. If you are unable to get your foot onto the seat of your chair, other options are just to stand, taking a step back with that left leg, and then sinking into that lunge to open your hip flexor this way. Both options work great for stretching out those hips. Taking nice deep breaths, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. One last breath. Standing upright, nice and tall. We're going to add some internal rotation with that hip. So again, I do have a variation for you. If you're able to get your foot up onto this chair, you're just going to slide that knee, slide that foot over towards the left. So we have kind of a cross body motion here. Taking that left hand, you're just going to kind of hold the outside of your thigh, sinking into that internal rotation. Other options here, you can brace, scoot a little closer to the chair, and kind of brace your shin, your knee on your chair, still cross body motion. We're just taking some of that upward motion and making sure that our knee is a little bit closer to the ground while we rest it on that chair. One more deep breath. Lowering that right leg down, same thing, left side. So left leg lifts up, placing the foot on the seat of your chair, leaning those hips forward, opening up that right hip flexor to start. Once again, option for feet on the ground, taking a step back with that right leg, and then sinking into that lunge position. Keeping your chest nice and upright. One more deep breath. And then shifting that weight, so standing a little more upright. Same thing, but now we're going to take that left leg and we're going to cross it over towards the right, getting that internal rotation here. Once again, you can take the opposite hand, putting some gentle pressure to the outside of your knee. If you need to switch sides on your chair, you can do so. Or other option, once again, standing a little closer, crossing your leg and resting kind of the outside of your shin or knee on that chair to still work that internal rotation. One more deep breath. Relaxing out of that, lowering your leg down. And we're going to move to the side of our chair. So we're going to have the right side, right arm holding on to our chair here. And we're going to go into a left side body stretch. So taking your left leg, you're going to cross it right over the right. Left arm's going to reach up to the ceiling and over toward the right. So we're basically trying to make one big C shape with our body. If we are unable to cross our left leg over the right, you can feel free just to stand with your feet side by side and then add that upper body reach up and over. One more deep breath. Exhale, lower the left arm, uncross your leg, and then we're going to switch sides. So making your way to the other side of your chair, left hand's gonna hold your chair, right leg crosses over the left, right arm reaches up and over towards the left. Nice C shape. Once again, you can feel free to do this with your legs side by side, and then adding that nice overhead reach to the side. One last breath. Lowering the right arm down, uncrossing your legs, and we're going to stretch out our quads next. So once again, I do have a couple variations for this one, but we're going to stand back behind our chairs for this. And we're going to, let's start with our right leg first. So we're going to take that right leg. We're going to bring that heel up towards our glutes, reaching back if you're able to. I want you to grab your ankle with your right hand, pulling that heel in towards your glute as far as you can, keeping those hips pressed forward. You should feel a good stretch on the front of your thigh. Other options here, you can take that right leg and you can just kind of place it, placing that foot on the seat of your chair, hips pressed forward, feeling that opening in the front of your thigh here. Holding onto the back of your chair for balance. And we're just going to hold this for 2 more deep breaths. Releasing your right leg. Left leg, same thing, reaching back, grabbing at the ankle, pressing those hips forward, pulling that heel in as close as you can, or moving to the side of your chair and placing that left foot on your chair. I'll just use my bench for an example for this one. Placing that foot, hips pressed forward, feeling that thigh open. One more deep breath. Releasing that left foot, and then let's go ahead and take a seat in our chairs. We're going to start first with a seated cat-cow. So for this one, I'm going to switch my position so you have a side view. So it's a little bit easier to see what this movement is. But sitting up nice and tall, feet flat, we're going to reach forward, placing our hands right above our kneecaps. So we have a slight forward lean. From here, you're going to tuck your chin to your chest, tucking your tailbone under, getting as rounded as you can, Before lifting your chin, lifting that tailbone, getting as extended as you can. And we're going to repeat, moving from that nice rounded position into that extended cow position. Let's do one more here. Flattening your back, we're going to keep our hands on our knees and we're going to add some rotation. So right hand, we're going to reach up, placing it gently back behind our head. We're going to rotate up, lifting that elbow up towards the ceiling and back down. Getting as much rotation as you can before lowering back to your starting position. Let's do one more on this side. And then we're going to switch. Right hand goes back to right above your knee. Left arm is going to gently place behind your head, rotating up and back down. Let's do one more here. Returning to center, slowly lifting back up to your tall seated position. And then we're going to get a little bit of some wrist stretches in next. So we're going to start first with some wrist flexion. So we're going to have our hand kind of up at like a little tabletop position. So elbow and wrist are in alignment. And we're going to gently place our hand on the back of that right hand, pressing down, working on getting as much flexion through your wrist as is comfortable. And we're just going to hold this for 2 deep breaths. Very good. Releasing that right hand. Lifting it back up so your fingers are in line with those wrists. And now we're going to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to take our hand, placing it kind of on that palm and your fingers, and you're just going to press up. So now we're working on that extension through that right wrist. Once again, just holding here for 2 deep breaths. Releasing your right arm, and we're going to do the same thing on the left. The left arm is up kind of at that tabletop position. Wrist is in line with the elbow. Starting first by placing that right hand on the back of your hand and pressing down, working on that wrist flexion first. Two deep breaths. Resetting. Fingers are lifted back into alignment. Placing that right hand on your palm and then lifting those fingers up. Moving into that extension here. One more deep breath. Releasing both hands. You can feel free to do a few wrist circles. And that is all of the stretching I have for you all today. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and see you next time.